If it's made of better materials, has a better design, and a better value, you better believe it's a CK product. Owning a CK Worldwide cold wire feeder means saving time and money, resulting from increased TIG welding performance. The cold wire TIG system mechanizes the addition of the filler metal, freeing the operator from using traditional handheld cut links. The benefit to the end user is consistent, high-quality welds made with greater speed and economy than previously possible. With the CK cold wire feed, the wire is delivered to the weld puddle through a feed cable that is either separately handheld, mounted to a manual TIG torch, or to a machine-mounted TIG torch. CK offers the CWH2512 and the CWH3512 models, allowing the freedom of one-hand welding by the operator. The CWH gives the operator the convenience of filler wire mechanization without being mounted to the TIG torch. Many end users report that the patented CK cold wire feed system increases productivity by as much as 30% over standard manual TIG welding methods. This video is designed as a supplement to the owner's manual included with each cold wire feed unit. It will provide you with basic setup and maintenance guidelines enabling proper application and use of the WF1 and WF3 models. Be sure to read the entire manual before operating either system. The WF1 wire feed unit is used primarily with handheld TIG torches for semi-automatic operation. The WF1 feed unit houses the drive motor, feed roll mechanism, solid-state control circuitry, and a spool of filler wire. It has controls for wire speed adjustment and for continuous or pulsed wire feed operations. The WF3 wire feed unit can be used with handheld TIG torches for semi-automatic operation or with machine-mounted torches for fully automatic operation. The WF3 feed unit is similar to the WF1 feed unit, except the WF3 model offers controls for delay start and wire retraction during automatic operation. Both the WF1 and WF3 units are supplied with one dual-groove drive roll and one pressure roll of the size and type best suited for the filler wire being used. The CK cold wire TIG torch package includes torch, power cable, argon and water hoses, feed cable, wire guide, and a wire guide bracket. Various torch configurations are available through CK. All models use standard collets, collet bodies, and gas cups. We recommend the CK patented wedge collet for superior arc starts, improved arc stability, and longer collet life. Prior to setup, the proper equipment for the TIG welding application should be on hand. Be sure to observe the safety information of the Welding Power Source Owner's Manual prior to installation of the cold wire feeder. The TIG process requires a constant current welding power source. Power source options may include a built-in high-frequency arc stabilizer, shielding gas control valves, and other special equipment. They may be AC, DC, or combination AC-DC units. When installing your cold wire feed unit, be sure to use recommended standard safety procedures and TIG welding practices. To begin setup, first attach the water-cooled power cable of the TIG torch to the electrode terminal on the power source. A power cable adapter is required to make the proper connection. CK recommends the use of a fuse block adapter like the one shown here, available through CK distributors. If for any reason the water supply to the torch should be interrupted, the fuse link in the fuse block will blow and weld power to the torch will stop. This benefit allows replacement of the fuse link instead of the power cable or the complete torch outfit. Now, attach the torch water in and gas supply hoses to the respective connection points, ensuring that the water is returning from the torch head via the power cable. Next, attach the ground cable from the power source ground terminal to the work or fixture. Remember, the appropriate sized ground cable should be used. Plug the cold wire feed unit power cord into an isolated, grounded 115-volt AC outlet. Do not connect to the 115-volt AC outlet on the power source. This will help to avoid power surge problems and maintain a steady feed. Remove the right door with a 3/4 turn of the latch. Invert the handle using a 7/16 wrench. Locate and release the pressure roll adjusting nut and lift the pressure roll arm. Observe the drive roll grooves. The smaller groove on this drive roll accommodates wire diameters from 030 to 035. The larger groove on the drive roll accommodates 045 wire or 3/64 aluminum wire. The drive roll can be removed and turned 180 degrees to accommodate changes in wire type and size. Other drive rolls to accommodate other combinations of wire sizes are available through CK. Now, back the thumb screw out so the feed cable can be put into position. Tighten the thumb screw to lock. Next, attach the electrical switch plug to the receptacle on the front of the cold wire feed unit and turn the unit on. The red light will illuminate, indicating the power is on. Turn the pulse continuous switch to the continuous position. Be sure the 10-turn potentiometer wire feed speed control knob is set so the number 2 speed is displayed. Then test the electrical switch to ensure the feed roll turns. Remove the spool hubcap. Before mounting the spool of wire to the hub, be certain that delivery of the wire will be from the bottom of the spool. Next, pay particular attention to the small locking pin on the hub. The spool must connect with this pin in order to be secured. After the wire is on the hub, replace the hub cap and make sure the spool of wire spins freely. Consult your manual if spool brake adjustment is needed. Disconnect the wire from the wire spool and trim off any damaged wire. Sharp edges must be removed with a file. Manually thread the wire into the inlet guide, across the drive roll, and into the feed cable. Check to see the inlet guide and the outlet guide are in alignment with the drive roll groove. Note the inlet and outlet guides are adjustable and may need to be aligned with the drive roll groove. Close and relatch the pressure roll arm, assuring the drive roll and pressure roll gears are properly engaged. After the wire has been started into the feed cable, it may be fed through the feed cable under power by actuating and holding the torch switch. It is very important to keep the feed cable as straight as possible when feeding the wire through the feed cable and wire guide. Keep your hands away from the wire guide while feeding the wire through the feed cable to prevent injuries. When using soft aluminum wire, it may be necessary to unscrew the compression nut fastening the feed cable to the wire guide and manually feed the wire through the wire guide. Reassemble and tighten the compression nut. It is important that the wire guide extends no further than the lowest edge of the gas cup to avoid overheating from the arc. If you are using a rigid alloy wire or a thicker wire, a wire guide bracket extension may be required. The wire feed pressure roll should be checked for proper tension adjustment. It may be necessary to readjust the settings to ensure proper feed of the wire. To adjust the pressure roll, tighten the pressure roll adjusting nut approximately 1/2 turn past the point where the rolls just begin to grab the welding wire. Over-tightening will deform the wire, resulting in feed problems. Next, replace and secure the door. This will prevent various airborne particles from settling on the filler wire and reduce the possibility of weld contamination. Let's take a look at the control panels on the WF1 and WF3 cold wire feed units. The wire speed control dial controls the speed of the wire drive motor with a 10-turn potentiometer. The dial offers infinite feed control, giving the operator 1 full turn of the knob for each 1/10 of the potentiometer movement. This provides the operator with precise and repeatable speed control for future or similar weld procedures. The pulse continuous feed selector switch controls the mode of operation of the feed unit. The operator has the option of pulse wire feeding, which mechanically simulates manual dipping of filler metal into the weld puddle, or continuous wire feeding. When the pulse wire feed mode is being used, the drive time control allows the operator to set the time the drive motor is operating. The dwell time control dial sets the dwell time the drive motor is not feeding wire while in the pulse mode. The wire feed may also be manually pulsed while operating in the continuous mode by manually pulsing the switch. Note the 5-amp resettable circuit breaker on the front of the feeder and the 5-amp slow blow fuse located behind the left door cover. These provide protection should the control circuits overload. The WF3 model cold wire feed system has added features which allow the operator to preset wire feed delay start for the beginning of an automatic weld and to preset wire retract for the end of an automatic weld. Delay start is used to allow the arc to become stable and weld puddle to form prior to beginning wire feed. This feature is controlled by a separate on-off toggle switch. Retract is used to eliminate the wire becoming stuck to the weld puddle as it solidifies on cooling at the termination of an automatic weld. A separate on-off toggle switch is provided to activate the wire retract feature. You are now ready to weld. When welding, hold the torch at a 15-degree angle for the best gas coverage. The wire should always enter at the leading edge of the puddle. The routine maintenance of the CK cold wire feed unit should include the following at regular intervals. The wire drive motor brushes should be inspected and replaced if worn down to a 1/4 inch length. When removing the brushes for inspection, be sure to note their original placement. The brush must not be turned around in the brush holder when it is put back in the motor, or excessive arcing and loss of power will occur. Before loading a new spool of welding wire, it is important to blow foreign matter from the feed cable with a dry source of compressed air. Also, routinely inspect the wire guide. Make sure to replace the wire guide should it become arced, bent, or badly worn. Wire feed cables are a consumable item subject to frictional wear. Periodic replacement should be expected, and spares are recommended to avoid downtime. Other replacement spares should include cups, collets, collet bodies, additional wire guide adjusting nuts, wire guides, wire guide brackets, and heat shields available through CK distributors. You are now prepared for many years of productive use with the CK cold wire feed system. As with any piece of machinery, there are bound to be situations where the operator has trouble with basic feeder functions. Many helpful troubleshooting hints are provided to you in the owner's manual included for your convenience. If you have any questions regarding operation of this or other fine CK products, be sure to contact CK Worldwide or your nearest authorized CK distributor.